Hey everyone, and welcome back to episode 32 of my Create Mod series. Now today I'm going to go over on how to make an automated cake farm inside of the Create Mod. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe as I make a ton of Create Mod content and you are not going to want to miss this. But anyways, let's jump into the video. So everything you are going to need for this cake farm is in this chest. Now this looks really daunting compared to my other previous videos, and it's really not that complicated. A lot of these is just a single item. So don't get too scared or thrown off and think this is a lot of resources. It's really not that much, especially once you put it together. But let me go over a couple different things. All of these water buckets that are right here, these are water sources. About half, if not more than half, are going to be used for my farms that I'm creating. So you don't need to gather that much. Watch the video first, and then from there you can see how much water you really need. But other than that, I also have spawn eggs with chickens and cows. Both of these guys, if you're in survival mode, simply go ahead and just find them in the wild, and you can use them. You don't have to have spawn eggs. Also, the wrench and the hoe, you just need any type of hoe for farming, and the wrench is going to be super useful for rotating things. It's basically required at this point. And then I have a seed that I'm going to need basically for a filter, so make sure you have at least one seed as well. But other than that, let's go ahead and grab all these items and we'll get started. So before we dive into this, I want to go over on basically how we're going to make a cake and how we're going to automate this whole process. So the vanilla recipe of making a cake is 3 buckets of milk, 2 pieces of sugar, an egg, and 3 things of wheat. So you can see that they're pretty basic items, but there's a lot of items, and many of these we've actually already automated for different processes in our past videos. So we're just going to kind of combine everything we've learned and put it together. So we're going to get milk from cows, we're going to get sugar from sugarcane, we're going to get eggs from chickens, and we're going to get wheat from our million wheat farms that we have created over all of our videos. And then all of that combined together is going to be turned into a cake. So that's our main process. So let's jump into how we're going to build it. So just like most, if not all of my videos, I have some things that are pre-built here. Again, if you're brand new to the channel, don't panic. All of this stuff is not required. A lot of it is just layouts, so I have a general idea of how to build this off the top of my head. So don't worry, we'll get to all of these sections as we get to them in the video. So the very first thing that we are going to do is we're going to pick a spot and we're going to place down our 9 mechanical crafters. Now, if you've never used mechanical crafters, I'm going to have a video that just popped up on the screen explaining on how to make them originally, how to use them, because they're pretty tricky, especially when it comes to powering them. So I recommend checking out the video if you've never used a mechanical crafter. Now, if you have, now that we have all of these 9 down, you're probably realizing what this is going to do. This is going to craft our cakes at the very end. So all we have to do is turn these arrows so that they all connect, and then we're going to have an output chest on the bottom right. So we're just going to make sure that all of our arrows eventually end. So you can see all of these guys connect, go there, all of these guys connect, go there, and all of these guys connect and go there. So we have our little crafting area. So now that we've done that, let's move to basically our cow farm. So you can see that I have this little glass area up here, and all this is going to do is hold a single cow above our mechanical crafters. So let's go ahead and climb up. And you can see that now we've gotten up here, we're going to build our machine a little backwards. So what we're going to do is on the top left of this mechanical crafter, we're going to grab a smart filter, if I can find it in my inventory, or a smart chute. We're going to place him down. We're then going to take a deployer, if we can find that as well in my inventory. There you go. And we're going to place him and rotate him so that he is facing towards and pointing towards basically the opposite direction of the mechanical crafter. We're going to want to click on the back as well so that the gearbox is off to the side. Now, again, if you've watched many of my videos, you know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to place my cow inside here. Again, survival mode, just get your cow into a hole and this will work. And then on top of this guy, we're going to simply place a chute. And we're basically set up. So what we've done here is we have made it so this deployer is going to go ahead and harvest milk for us, and it's going to be set into the mechanical crafter. One thing that we've actually run into, though, is that we need a plain bucket, and we're simply going to use this bucket to grab milk. We're then going to place the milk bucket as a filter onto the smart chute, just like so. And this will make it so it will only place milk buckets into the mechanical crafters, not just regular buckets. Now, what we've done next is we have to, on top of this chute, if I can climb up, we need to take a chest. And we're going to do a double chest just as a buffer. And we're going to place down 2 of these guys side by side. and then grab an andesite funnel and just place it up. And we're going to want to push this or rotate it so that the arrow is facing downwards. Now, we're going to actually use something later in this episode to shoot our items all the way into that andesite funnel and continue down. But we'll go ahead and get to that when we get to that. So now we hypothetically have a source of getting milk. But one problem we've run into is that when the chute activates, it's only going to be placed in the top left. And if we look at our cake recipe, we need our milk to go in the top row completely, as well as when we get to our wheat farm, we need the wheat to go to the entire bottom row. So what we're going to do is go to the back of this mechanical crafter, and we're going to simply right-click on these 4 rectangles. And what this has done is it's made the top row share an inventory and the bottom row share an inventory. So when milk goes into the top row, the milk will fill all 3 of these boxes, and then it will stop. And same as when we place our wheat in, it will finish the entire bottom and then stop. So what we're going to do now is set up our wheat farm. So we're going to grab a shaft. We're going to place it diagonal down from the end of this mechanical crafter. We're then going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then on the 7th block, place down another shaft. Then grab a mechanical belt, connect this guy. We'll place an andesite funnel onto this mechanical crafter, so once these items go down, it will transfer into the mechanical crafter. We'll go to the end of this belt, place a chute. We're going to grab a portable storage interface, and we're going to place it so that it is facing our farm. Now, our farm is going to be our generic wheat farm that we have built 1,000 times on our YouTube channel. So you could do any kind of design, or you could just copy my design. Keep in mind when you're building this that I've gone 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5th block is the center, and it's going to be uneven towards this portable storage interface. But again, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on the 5th block over 1, we're going to dig down 1, 2, 3 blocks into the ground, and we're going to place a magma block, an encased fan, a mechanical bearing, if I can place it correctly, and then we're going to place a radial chassis on top of that. So this is going to be our encased fan farm that we have done in many different episodes now. One thing you don't want to forget to do is that we want to actually power this up by just simply placing a lever. We can do it on the magma block or the encased fan and powering this guy up, and then we'll just shut him off for the time being. Now that we've done that, we'll just place a couple blocks down. We're going to grab 2 water buckets, and we're going to place our water in here, and then we can actually begin to hoe this area down, but I want to build our machine first just so it doesn't ruin our crops. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a slime ball. We're going to slime one side of this radial chassis. We're going to grab our linear chassis, and we're going to place 1, 2, 3, 4 linear chassis. Go to the other side. We're going to slime 1, 2, 3, 4. Place down 4 harvesters. Go to the other side. Slime ball this whole side, and we're going to grab our chests and place down 1, 2, 3. Grab a portable storage interface and place him so that he is directly across from this portable storage interface. Now all we have to do is aim at this radial chassis, turn this down to 4, so it's only interacting with our own blocks. We can look at these linear chassis, hold left control, and then scroll down so that they're all set to 1. And then we can actually simply go ahead and click on this bearing, and it will start moving, and it will even start interacting with this portable storage interface. So our last step is to simply hoe the ground and place all our seeds down. All right, all of our wheat seeds have been planted down, so let's move on to the chicken farm. So the chicken farm I'm going to use is a very vanilla technique. There's ways to do this in Create, but vanilla is just so much more efficient, so I'm just going to use the vanilla way of doing this. So what I've done is from our mechanical crafters, I've gone out from the andesite funnel, down one more block, and then gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 blocks underneath so that it connects to the very end of a 3x3 hole that I've created here. So let's start out by grabbing a shaft, and we're going to place a shaft into this hole, like so. We're then going to move out all the way until we basically have a 1 block gap in between this mechanical belt. And we're going to place a shaft. We're going to grab a mechanical belt and connect it here. We're going to grab a depot, and we're going to place a depot here. So what I'm doing here is theoretically eggs are going to be collected in this area. They're going to go down the belt and be stuck onto a depot. Now, even though it looks like they'll eventually go onto this mechanical belt, they're not going to, because what we're going to do is we're going to take a mechanical arm, and we're going to right-click on this, or excuse me, I got this incorrectly. There we go. We're going to take a mechanical arm, We're going to right click on the very center block here, and it says takes items from here. So we're going to right click again so it deposits items into the center. And then we're going to right click on the depot so it says takes items from depot and place it down. So once this mechanical arm is activated, it will pull the eggs off of this depot and place it into the center. And if you remember correctly from a cake, we need our eggs in the center, so that will be perfectly fine as long as we power this guy. So our next step is that we're going to go into our hole here and we're going to grab our hoppers. Now, the first hopper we're going to place is just onto the belt, so it's facing towards that belt. And then all of the other ones we're going to place so that they're all connecting to each other. So once we do this, we can go ahead. We basically have an area where if we throw an item, it's going to connect through all the hoppers and be placed onto our belt. One issue we've run into, though, is that our chickens are not going to lay eggs on top of the hoppers. So an easy fix to that is to simply grab some white carpet and place it down. Looks like I was one short, so I'll correct that in the description and in the video. And then we can place our chickens down to make them basically lay eggs for us. All right, so I've placed all of my annoying chickens into our little pen that we have over here, and I've fixed the little carpet right here as well, so they'll start generating some eggs and dropping them into the hopper, and once it's activated, it'll even start placing some eggs onto this depot. So our next step is we need to work on our sugar. So we're going to work a little backwards. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab a depot. And what I've gone is to kind of put it in perspective is we have our mechanical arm. We're going to go over one and then down one and place our depot. And then what we could do now is grab our mechanical arm and we're going to right click on the left side of this mechanical crafter. And we're going to right click twice. So it says deposit. Do it to the other one as well. So it's depositing into both of these items. And then right click on that depot and we can place him here. So now this guy will actually deposit our sugar and place it into our mechanical crafters for our cake. So now all we have to do is bring it over to our sugarcane farm by using our shafts and our mechanical belts. So place down one shaft, go all the way down, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on the 6th block, another shaft, and connect that with a belt. So now that we've done that, we do have to kind of plan a little bit ahead because we can't just pull the sugarcane and throw the sugarcane in here. We have to actually convert it to sugar. So what we're going to do is simply place a millstone on top of this mechanical belt, grab an andesite funnel, and place that as well onto the millstone. Then we're going to grab a chute, place our chute on top of the millstone, grab a portable storage interface, and place our portable storage interface on top of the chute. And now it is aiming towards our weird sugarcane farm that I've built over here. Now, again, you could use your own sugarcane farm. You can use my sugarcane farm, whatever you're looking for. It's the same thing that I've gone 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the 5th block, I've dug down into the hole. That's all you have to basically build for this area. Just keep in mind, water has to be next to the sugarcane when you're designing it. So in this hole, we're going to go ahead and place a magma block, place an encased fan, place a mechanical bearing, and then place a radial chassis. Again, this one's going to be one block above what a wheat farm would be, and we've done that on purpose because we don't want it to remove all the sugarcane. We only want to remove it on the 2nd and 3rd level, depending on how high it grows. So what we're going to do, slime ball one side of the radial chassis. We're going to grab our linear chassis and place, place 1, 2, 3, 4, just like so. We're going to slime this side and then go to the other side and slime this side as well. On this side, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4 mechanical harvesters. On the other side, we're going to go ahead and place down 1, 2, 3 chests. We're going to place down a portable storage interface. And then we just got to do our little configuration like what we've done. So we're going to turn this down to 4. We're going to aim at this one up top. So I'll just build up for a second. We're going to aim at these linear chassis, hold left control, and turn it down to 1. And then we're going to break this block of dirt. And we now just have to go ahead and power this guy up. So what we're going to do is simply go ahead and look at the magma block, right-click our lever. It will start moving around. We're going to take a block of sand, place it on top of the lever, and then just place down 1 water bucket and 2 water buckets. And now we can just place our sugarcane down, and as it starts growing, it will get collected, put in the portable storage interface, into the mill, turn into sugar, and start moving. So that brings us to our next step, where we actually need to power this entire machine. All right, so I know I said I was going to power the machine up, but we actually forgot a step. And that is that here, when we harvest our wheat, there's a chance that we're actually going to have seeds. So what we have to do is just a simple little fix. We're going to go 1 block away from the chute. We're going to place down 2 chests, place down a brass funnel on the side with the arrow facing towards the chest. We're going to grab a seed really quick and place the seed right into the filter. So what this is doing is it's going to pull any type of seeds that go onto the belt and place it into the chest. It's just an overhang. You can also throw these into lava, do whatever you would like with them, but I'm just going to put them in a chest for simplicity of this video. But on top of that, we also totally forgot to output the cake from this mechanical crafter. So all we have to do is just place down one chest, place down two chests, again with this arrow facing towards the chest. And then something that we need to keep in mind, and this is something that I've known from planning this machine out, is that after we make a cake in the mechanical crafters, it'll actually put all three of the buckets into this chest as well. So we're going to reuse our buckets by shooting them into that andesite funnel up there. So what we're going to do is simply grab a shaft, and we're going to place 1, 2, just like this, connect a mechanical belt. We're going to place a weighted ejector right here. Or excuse me, actually not yet. We're going to grab our weighted ejector and head all the way up. If I can climb up correctly. So I've climbed up to this andesite funnel. We're going to shift right click on this andesite funnel, so it's now locked into this andesite funnel. We're then going to come over here and we can place our weighted ejector down. So now once it has power, it will actually eject this item right into that andesite funnel for us. A lot better than our chute combination that I've used prior. So now that we've done that, we got to go ahead and power our machines. So what I've done over here is directly to the side of the chute with the wheat farm. I've gone out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks. And then on the 6th, 7th, and 8th block, I'm going to place down water wheels. So we're just going to do a little backwards. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4 shafts, and then place a 5th one inside as well. And then we're going to place down our water wheels, and we're going to face them. So if you're looking at it from this direction, they're facing clockwise. Now that we've done that, we're just going to grab our water buckets, and we can go ahead and place these guys down. And with 3 water wheels, this will power our entire system. So if we go down here, you can see that this belt is now activated, but we don't have anything else activated. So what we're going to do is simply grab 2 gearboxes, place 1 here and 1 here. That will activate this mechanical belt. And then over here, we're going to grab 1 cogwheel, 2 cogwheels. This will now power our mechanical crafter. Over here against this andesite funnel, we're just going to grab a vertical gearbox and a cogwheel, and that will power both of these mechanical arms now. So you can already see this one activating to place our eggs into its correct position. And then down over here, we're going to do a little bit of a trick for bringing the power around. And what we're going to do is underneath this mechanical crafter, place down a cogwheel and place down another and another, and then place down a shaft. And we can replace that piece of dirt as well. So this has now activated this mechanical belt. And then over here, we're going to do another little trick with a gear shift. We're going to place a gear shift in between this belt and this mechanical belt. We're going to place a shaft inside of this mechanical belt. And then you can see that this thing's actually turning the wrong way. So we're going to grab a lever and activate it so it's turning the correct way. And something that I realized we didn't do is we actually need to place our brass funnel on here and set it to the filter of a bucket, just like so. So now that we've done that, we also have to do something to this little area by taking a shaft and placing down 2 shafts so that this weighted ejector is activated as well. So now we only have a couple cogwheels left, and all that's going to do is we're going to hop up on top, basically over in this area. We're going to place down 1 cogwheel, 2, 3, 4, just like this. And this should activate our deployer so that our deployer is now interacting with our cow. And then over here on this millstone, we need to place down a vertical gearbox and a cogwheel. So now that our sugarcane will get grinded and thrown through here. And that's basically our whole system. Something that we do need to do, though, is we never gave buckets to this weighted ejector. So we can just throw any extra buckets that we have right into this weighted ejector. It will get launched up into the andesite funnel and get placed down to start milking the cow and filling up this mechanical crafter. So now all we have to do is we have to just wait for the sugarcane and the wheat farm to create some food, and it will start making, basically making cakes. There we go. We can see some sugar is moving, and we actually already have our wheat that's been collected. So all we have to do is wait for this mechanical arm to place it into this mechanical crafter. You can see we got sugar on the right side. It should go ahead and pick up another piece of sugar and place it on the left side. And as soon as it does that, it should start making us a cake. So we'll go ahead and let that process happen. So if you've done this correctly, you should see everything combining together, and make sure you use the wrench to basically set up these paths of how these items are going to go. And once it connects, it should go ahead and make a cake for us. There we go. So look at that. We got our cake. And if we have done this correctly, it should have placed our cake just like so into this chest. It's thrown our buckets out to this weighted ejector, and it's already shooting our buckets back up here and already loading up for the next cake. So you can see right there, we now have an infinite cake farm. Now, I recommend if you are using some other types of mods, some other types of food mods, sometimes it makes cakes better. You can cut them into like slices of cakes, things along those lines. That'll make this process better because cake as a whole is not exactly the greatest food inside of Create Mod. But you can see we can automate the entire process of making a cake. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. All I ask is that if you want to see more Create Mod content, to go ahead and subscribe and to go ahead and like. I'm making these videos during my 2 finals weeks at the moment. And basically I'm running on no sleep to make videos and do homework. So all I ask is if you could take some time out of your day to drop a like and subscribe, that'd be awesome. I also just launched Rocket World, my own Create Mod focused server. I'll have all the information linked in the description if you want to go ahead and check it out. It's just a simple application, basically just as a log, so I see how many people can actually be in my server. And once you fill it out, you can go ahead and join. Pretty awesome that we've had, I think at the moment during this video, about 20 to 30 people on consistently, which is really awesome. So feel free to check that out. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys all in the next one.